Alright, so I'm a little annoyed that I feel like I need to make this video so soon after releasing my last one. And this is probably gonna come off to a lot of you guys like I'm backpedaling. I promise you I'm not. This isn't me trying to save face or anything, because I don't feel like anything I said in that video was in and of itself wrong. At least none of the opinions that I offered in that video were in and of themselves wrong. And I want to be absolutely clear that I still have problems with the overall graphic quality in this game. I still think it looks bad. Like, not awful or anything. I want to be clear about that, because I wasn't entirely clear about that in the previous Pokemon video that I released. The graphics don't look awful, but they look bad. They look barely a step up from like the 3DS Ocarina of Time remakes or something. And I'm not kidding. Just go back and watch gameplay stuff of the open world section of the game, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The landscapes are boring. There's all kinds of places where interesting stuff could have been put into them, and yet I don't see any interesting stuff in them, and they're flat, and the textures are muddy, and I still think that's a problem. But I'm actually getting to a point where I'm almost okay with overlooking it. And it sucks that I feel like I have to make this video specifically because I wouldn't have had to if I just waited 24 to 48 hours to drop that last one. That last Pokemon Sword and Shield video. I would have seen the new trailer for the game, and I would have been able to incorporate that information from the trailer into that video, and my opinions would have been different. I don't know how different they are yet. I'm still reforming them as we speak, but they still would have been different because they already are different. So this is just going to be a quick update. I do want you guys to have all of the information, and I do want you guys to have my up-to-date opinions on the subject. Hopefully I will have finished forming them by the time I'm finished with this mostly unscripted garbage fire of a video, which is why I'm using the potato cam here, because I don't really expect this video to really take very long. There's a part of me that wonders if this trailer wasn't released in the specific form that it was released in, because this controversy is still ongoing. New stuff in the trailers included the official reveal of the Corgi Pokemon Yamper, which, I mean, if you want to endear your fan base to your new game, show them a puppy. It showed us that there's going to be, it looks like just one gym leader per version, which is exclusive to that version. There's going to be a fighting type gym leader that's exclusive to Sword, and a ghost type gym leader that's exclusive to Shield. And I think that's actually a really interesting idea. It's not the first time that we've got different versions of the same generation of game that had different gym leaders in them, but this is the first time that it's like explicitly the main two core games, at least as far as I can remember. And I do think that that's a really intriguing idea. It's not going to get me to buy one version of the game over another. I'm going to pay more attention to what Pokemon are in each version of the game, more so than that. But it's still neat. It's a new thing that they're doing that is still in keeping with the tradition of Pokemon, the tradition of version exclusives, and I like it. But what the new trailer showed specifically that has gotten me to rethink some of the things that I said in that previous video was Gigantamaxing. Now, you may recall I mentioned Dynamaxing, a mechanic which just makes the Pokemon larger and enhances their moves for like, I think it's 2 turns or something. A mechanic which Game Freak seemed to be alluding to when they said that they had all these additional character models to program into the games. And I argued that if they're creating entirely new models for every Dynamax Pokemon, that's a mistake. It's a stupid mistake that they shouldn't have to make. But then we were shown Gigantamaxing, and it turns out this mechanic, which is similar to Dynamaxing, it seems to work on the same in-universe scientific principle, actually changes the way the Pokemon looks. And I imagine this one won't be available for every Pokemon in the game. I could be wrong, but I still imagine that it's not. But even if it's available for all the new Pokemon and like some select fan favorite old Pokemon or something, that's still a lot of models that they have to program into the game that they otherwise wouldn't, on top of an entire region's worth of new Pokemon. And while Game Freak still has a history of being very inefficient with the way that they program models into these games, I guess if they were alluding to Gigantamaxing in their response and not Dynamaxing, then I need to take back what I said about them. I do think, as much as I absolutely hate that people won't be able to transfer up all of their old Pokemon from past games to this one, that in order to try out this new mechanic, which they have the right to do, and I do think it looks interesting enough, it does make sense for them to not include every past Pokemon in this game. Especially when there is still a chance that they will change their minds and release a DLC with at least some of the Pokemon that were originally excluded later down the line. I think maybe it was a little hasty to take such a hardline stance against the games, specifically for not including every single past Pokemon. Gigantamaxing looks way more interesting than Dynamaxing. I expect that it probably does something else aside from just Dynamax the Pokemon and change the way they look, though that hasn't been confirmed yet. If it doesn't do something else, that would honestly be kind of dumber than I would expect Game Freak to go, even after all the bad responses they've given recently. But yeah, I'm kind of into it. And then there's the argument I made that the animations in battle still look kind of terrible, and I don't entirely disagree with that. Though again, after seeing this most recent trailer, we did see some more interesting battle animations above and beyond ones that we'd seen in the past. Like this guy here, whose name I don't remember, and I'm inserting the clip of him in post, so I can't actually look to check and see what it is. When he does what I'm assuming is Flash Cannon here, it looks pretty cool. The animation for it looks pretty cool, and it seems custom to this Pokemon. And then there's this rock guy that has, looks like a wheel in the middle of his body, or something. Does this cool spinny thing when he uses, I'm assuming, Rock Slide, and it really does kind of look like he's tossing the rocks. So clearly they put thought into at least some of the attack animations, so maybe it's only higher level attacks that they're focusing on, or maybe only like the Pokemon's signature attack or something that they're focusing on, like the big competitive attack that Pokemon learns at level up or something like that. Maybe the reason Double Kick still looks like shit is because they just don't care about Double Kick, and let's be clear, I don't really either. So if we have to keep the crappy animations for some of the low tier attacks in order to get really cool animations for the higher tier attacks, I can live with that. And like, I could be wrong about all of this. All of this good faith that's built up could be stripped away in a second with a future trailer which seems to contradict the good vibes I got from this one. It is certainly possible that something like that could happen, and I could go back to being really hardline against these games, but as of right now, I'm reconsidering. And that's all I'm going to say at this point. I'm reconsidering. I'm going to wait to say anything more on the subject until more trailers have come out, till we've seen more gameplay, maybe even wait for reviews of the games once they drop. But between this and some people reminding me that if we don't buy the main series games, Game Freak may just decide to drop them altogether in favor of mobile, which is something that I embarrassingly hadn't thought of myself. I am no longer 100% sure that I'm not going to invest in these games. I'll let you guys know what I settle on later down the line, but just know that that's where I'm at this particular moment. Yeah, but that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Just, like I said, a few updates, things which really should have been in that last video. As per usual, I'd like to know what do you think of any of the stuff that I talked about in this video. I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to the comments on this sucker. Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord, link in the description. But either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.